He's right
morning,
here.
sir, right here.
All right. Carol,
Yes.
I believe the Senate President is listening wherever they're right now, unless he's in the grave.
No, he listening.
All right.
I hope he listening.
I'd like to hear that. 'Cause I know he's listening. Carol, have you seen the 18-page amendment for the controversial hotel bill?
Oh, we got
You mean Senator Richards' handiwork?
Yes.
I'll be honest with you, sir. I haven't seen it.
Well,
Nor have I.
I want you to find out, wherever they are, I know he's listening, to find out if he has a copy of it yet. And I want him to read before he go on the floor.
You say it's 18 pages?
18 pages, yes.
Okay.
I want him to read before he goes on the floor.
We will make sure that
He always reads, Mr.
and he
J.
does
doesn't-
read.
Well, okay, well,
But
that's what I want to do.
that specific amendment,
Eh?
I will take his message. I will take your message to him.
You know, he has an amendment too on that bill. It's only 2 pages, but he has one too.
Well, that amendment, that 18-page amendment that I saw, having some beautiful clause in it, protective clause,
Okay.
and that's how I like to see bills or amendment is written. I can't take time to go into all of it, but when you all get it, another time we will discuss it.
Oh no! Before we meet again,
But
they will be addressing that.
Session.
All
So
right,
we're gonna be talking about what happened.
Yeah. Okay, now I heard. Let me ask you. This is a tempting question, Carol, and if you want, you could answer yes or no, or you. If you don't have no.
Don't be setting me up in old time.
Any answer you give me, I am going to accept.
Okay, all right.
Be advised that this call is being monitored. Mine, I'm telling you.
It's being recorded too.
No, not by me. But I know it's monitored. It's being monitored.
Okay.
We talk about the resolution. Do you think that with this last resolution we did further ahead than other Senate President and Vice President who have gone after those same funds?
I don't know.
I honestly don't. I honestly don't know.
You don't know?
But I tell you what, it doesn't take the wind out of the sail of the Senate President and his colleagues to pursue the issue at the congressional level.
And I agree with you. I agree with them. At least they're trying something.
That's right.
And if it works, all of us will clap our hand and enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
If it doesn't work, we will say, well, they tried.
That's right.
Move on to something else,
That's
but we
right.
got to stop the bleeding.
We got to one way.
And the thing is that we need everybody on board. We need everybody from Congress all the way down to the governor.
Yes. No,
I would love to see the governor. I really honestly would love to see the governor coming on board on this initiative, as well as the Congress lady. Because we need all hands on board.
You know that other governors have been on board before with about those same funds.
They
And you, right?
Yes.
And you also know that it even went to the high courts.
That's right.
And you also know what the high courts rule.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So,
but that doesn't deter the effort.
No, I will not.
You have a different governor. You have a different governor. The times have changed, and the courts have changed.
The courts will change very easy. You will take action to change it.
Well.
Okay. No, on the grid.
Okay.
The delegate played a major role when it comes to the grid, because she did mention, and she also mentioned that some money was put aside there to do research and everything. So she played a role.
Yeah, and in this study on Puerto Rico,
yes,
it references that study, my dear.
Okay.
So trust me, the president is very much aware.
And I understand as president, he should be aware. But he was not aware until it get brought to him last week or week before that the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico she should be included in the jobs bill. And that's when he went back and included them.
That's why we have a delegate to Congress.
Okay, so you mean that she is... I am not in her defense, but I'm saying she is doing. She spent 1 whole hour on the floor the other day talking about jobs bill and everything.
No, well, we ain't disputing that, you know. We just
dry reference.
Yeah,
I just done a reference, okay?
And that's welcome.
Yeah, so it's not everything that we need to put her down about. She's doing her best.
Yeah. But
okay,
there's no put down intended. But we do want to point out that unless we're going back to the days of brace and bit, we do need to address our energy issues.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, dear.
Okay? Let me ask you a question.
You go right ahead, sir. You go right ahead.
And you know from where we come, okay, as a people, and you know the efforts that our forefathers has had to make, including getting killed, okay, to make us get a better life.
Yes.
To get certain freedoms and rights and privileges. Okay? Now, you think if they had said back then that me gonna push because I got I play my basket that I'm not gonna push so I could get 4 more apples. You really think they said them kind of thing?
No.
Oh, I really don't think they did.
But Carol, since you gone all the way there,
I have to.
You remember that we were offered something to out of that same money out of Washington? You remember that?
Yeah, and we walked away from it.
Okay.
I tell you, that was then. That was under a different governor, different times, and a different court.
Okay, so at least I agree with him that he's trying. And my last question to you, quick. I want to talk about subsidy. And I believe that you saw a bill someplace that was going to be asking the government to subsidize the LEAC. Did you see that bill?
That was the WAPA Consumer Rescue Act of 2008.
The one 2008?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about the one that is forthcoming, or should be forthcoming, that wanted to get rid of the LEAC altogether and have the government subsidize it? Have you seen the one?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Look for it.
I look for it.
And when you look for it, you'll see that if that bill had become law, you will find out that, yes, you might have gotten rid of the LEAC, but you would have never been able to pay for the fuel because already the government doesn't have any money.
Well, that's why the senators' tactic has changed. In 2008, we were going to do it within the government. Now we have to move outside.
And I ain't going to hold fire too long, but Carol, take my message.
I will.
And the last thing for you, Carol, I keep asking you about the Democratic Party in the goal.
Well, Miss,
and mine, you keep nodding your head on me, but...
No, me nodding your head. You guess what? Come Monday, and you could do the same. Please call Administrator Dotson James.
Yes.
He's the district chair. I asked you, when is he going to have a meeting for the people at St. Croix? I'm going to do it. So do it for me too, okay?
All right.
Okay, all right.
You take care, girl.
Okay, all right.
I think you just did it, you know.
Good morning, caller. Welcome to Beyond Politics.
Hey, good morning. You know, it's amazing, and a national committee, national committee woman of the Democratic National Committee, and Roy and everybody else, and hearing Democrats in disarray, arguing and fighting. And
that's our nature. We do that better than anybody.
No, you fight and then you unite. That was your mantra.
And guess what? You don't join us. You just...
Well, listen.
Don't you? That's what you're calling right now.
2 years. First of all, our delegate never could vote in Congress. That was a phony deal, and you can go back and look at all the recorded votes of every vote that's ever been taken when she had the so-called privilege. And they're not even recorded. Why? Because they don't count. And what is a vote?
So it was a placebo?
That's correct. That was all it was. The Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution says Congress shall be apportioned among the several states. And as long as we're not a state, you can't change that and give power that the Congress prohibits. The other thing is, there will never be a grid to St. Croix. You can count on it. It is not feasible.
St. Croix or the Virgin Islands?
Well, St. Thomas to Puerto Rico is a possibility.
Oh, okay.
But then you become dependent on Puerto Rico, and if that's what they want to do, fine. But that's why you need to separate the two power companies into districts, because the two power companies apart from each other would make a lot more sense.
Okay.
We have a way to solve the LEAC here, and it is not through legislation. You cannot possibly, like the previous caller said, there's just no way in the world where there's money to pay for that. The federal government isn't going to bail you out. They're looking for ways to cut money. And they're going to cut BINGN to the bone, if it exists at all after.
You think?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
But then what will happen?
The bipartisan committee of 6 is looking for areas of excess, and that is not necessarily.
I hardly think what we're talking about is excess, sir.
Well, it's excess because it's not needed.
No,
you
it's
tell
very
me
much
that
needed.
A $6 million cable from St. Thomas to Water Island, $6.8 million for 300 people. You got to be kidding. They all have internet connections out there already.
Oh, you're going over to the broadband. I'm talking about energy because nothing about energy is excess.
Energy, I agree that Dr. Stephen Chu, the Energy Secretary, is one of the sharpest knives in the drawer of President Obama. And President Obama has given them the green light to permit, under different rules, small modular reactors that are the size of a fridge that are buried 60 feet underground and can produce 50 megawatts for 30 years without refueling. That's our answer.
Will those make us glow in the dark or not?
No.
Okay.
No. They use thorium. They don't use a weapons grade. They use plutonium uranium. They only use spent rods that are available for next to nothing out of the Yucca Flats to charge the thorium, and then it is the most incredible thing because it's zero emission.
Herb, I'm going to cut you off. Why don't you serve on a task force on energy locally? Huh?
Well,
you seem to be quite knowledgeable.
I am on a task force, and that's the radio talk show task force, telling people that they're barking up the wrong tree. Alpine is not going to reduce our LEAC one penny.
I agree with you, Herb. I'm with you.
Tell us why. You can't just make the statement. Tell us why.
Well, because the process of using refuse-derived fuel, first of all, produces dioxin. It'll probably not get permitted anyway. And it's 16 megawatts in the method, unless they put an onerous tipping fee and charge you on your WAPA bill if you don't pay the tipping fee.
Another charge?
Oh, yeah. A tipping fee, $100 per ton tipping fee, that's passed on to the people that have the garbage. The point of the matter is they're sending off island anyway, all the white goods, the lumber, the pipes and metal and non-ferrous and ferrous metals, baling and wrapping. This idea that you've got to do something right away because the airport's going to close is nonsense. They can stop dumping stuff at Anguilla, that's fine, but they're going to continue to process at Anguilla. And biodegradable is the easiest thing to get rid of with composting or a sanitary landfill. And there are places on St. Croix, contrary to what May Adam Cornwall says, that are very suitable for a sanitary landfill. You have
like
city
what?
condos.
Like what? Like where?
A State Pearl. You remember Virco?
Yes.
There's a sinkhole there that needs to be filled up, and then it'll be valuable property someday. There are many places in the world where this is done. I'm not talking about a trash heap. I'm talking about biodegradable waste done in a sanitary landfill properly. And the rest of the stuff, all the tires and the cars and things like that, they're shipped off island anyway. And they're not going to go into this RDF plant. And why aren't we taking cuckoo pellets from St. Thomas and burning them here?
Boy, you getting political up in here now,
Well, why don't they burn them there if they're so good?
Exactly.
Well, you know we're going to agree with you. You know we don't want them. We want their cuckoo pellets.
Well, that's what it is. It's cuckoo pellets. And it is very dangerous. And the plant that is portrayed on the PowerPoint demonstration of Alpine Energy shows a plant at French Island in La Crosse, Wisconsin. I've been to that plant. That plant is not an RDF plant. It is a 200-megawatt oil-fired plant. It's got a small little RDF facility on the side.